Hey guys, so the IRS will open for the 2021 tax filing season on February 12th. So in today's video, I want to help make sure you're prepared. And mind you, they do still want everybody filed by April 15th. And if you have a business, some of those, that date may be different for some of you. And if you don't think you're going to be able to file on time, you definitely should file an extension, okay? So if this is your first time finding my channel, welcome to the Entrepreneur Help Desk, where I primarily talk about all things taxes and entrepreneurship. My name is Tasha, and I'm an accountant, tax strategist, business consultant, and business builder to entrepreneurs and individuals around the U.S. Because I am not your accountant or business advisor, this video is for educational purposes only, and you should do your own research or seek the advice of a professional. If you are my client watching this video, then it's all good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over is your W-2 from all jobs, all right? Your employer has until January 31st to send your copies. And no matter how little you may have made with a job, like maybe you were only there for a short period of time or whatever the case may be, they're required to issue you a W-2 form, okay? So they do have until January 31st to get that to you. All right. The next form is Form 1099 NEC. Now, this is a new form that businesses are required to issue to you for payments made to you as non-employee compensation. Okay, they used to report that on 1099 miscellaneous, but this is a form they added now because they want non-employee compensation. What used to go on line 7 of that 1099 miscellaneous is now going on this 1099 NEC, okay? Anyone who needs to get this to you, they also have until January 31st. And if you were paid $600 or more, they're required to issue this form. Some companies don't, but hey, that's on them. Even if they don't issue it, you make sure you report all your earnings that you received, okay? Now, let's talk about, okay, K1. K1 is like, I call it like a W-2, but for partnerships, all right? If you're a partner in a partnership, you should get a K1 from your, whatever tax professional is preparing your partnership tax return. Okay. The next form is 1099 INT, and I hope you guys got your pens and paper out to jot this stuff down, or you'll just rewatch this video, okay? Form 1099 INT is your bank interest, any bank interest, and like they're so petty. I don't even care if you got $12 in interest, the bank is going to send you a 1099 INT, and you can best believe the IRS wants you to report that. Okay, now next up is Form 1099 DIV. So if you earned any dividends from your investments, okay, you will be getting this form. If it's not necessarily mailed to you, it might be available in your dashboard where you log into your investments, okay? Form W-2G is for any gambling winnings like casino, lottery, and things like that. Form 1099G is for unemployment and state refunds. Like if you itemize and you got a state refund, the state is going to issue you a 1099G to show the amount of your refund, because you do have to include it on income. Okay, they want to know about everything. And speaking of unemployment, I will put a link in the description box to a recent video I did about unemployment and filing taxes. Okay, the next one is Social Security income, if you collected Social Security. Form 1099-R, if you withdrew any money from retirement, or if you already retired and like that's just your main source of income, you receive this 1099-R. Okay, Form 1099-C, that is for debt cancellations, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box to a video I previously did where I talked all about this form, because when you cancel debts, it is taxable income, okay? Next up, okay, Form 1098-E, that's for any student loan interest you paid. Form 1098T is for tuition paid. And guys, like, even if you paid with a student loan, you should still receive this form, because if you do qualify for like educational expenses, it's going to be on this form. Even under a student loan, it's still, if you qualify, you can still include it. Okay, if you're a teacher, you should have your educator expenses, all right? And usually that's up to like $250 or whatever, but in some cases you might be able to, no, as a matter of fact, you can't write off additional work-related expenses. So yeah. But speaking of teachers, I will leave a link in the description box to a video where I talk about ways teachers can make extra money from home. And in this day and age, guys, you know, having multiple income streams is really important. Okay, retirement contributions, all right? Your HSA or MSA contributions, which is like your healthcare savings accounts. All right, if you itemize that I mentioned earlier, you want your list of itemized deductions, like your medical, dental, your property taxes paid, mortgage interest, charitable donations, other categories of expenses that fall under this if you itemize on Schedule A. Okay. Here we have, all right, the next on this checklist, expenses for child and dependent care. Okay. You definitely want to make sure you have the ID number of the place where you take your child, or the person who keeps your child, their social security number, their address, and things like that. As a matter of fact, I previously did a video talking about the child care credit, okay, because they're really trying to challenge people due to so much fraud. So don't be surprised if they randomly ask you for all sorts of information to verify that you are entitled to this credit. So in that video, I talk all about that. So be sure to check the link in the description box. Adoption expenses, if you adopted any children. Education expenses. All right. Now, depending on certain things, you might potentially qualify for like educational credits. So you want to get that together. Or like if you're a small business owner or self-employed and you had like some professional development and things like that, you can include that as an expense. Okay. Now, business profit and loss statement. Okay. This is a statement that can be generated like right from your bookkeeping. Hopefully you've been doing bookkeeping or have an outsourced bookkeeper. Your profit and loss is a report that shows like your gross revenue, your categorized list of business expenses, and it's going to show if you ultimately have a net profit or a net loss, because that's what's going to determine if your business owes any money for that. Okay. Another thing you should have as a business owner is your business EIN, if you have one. Okay. Some of you who are sole proprietors are still operating under your social. I mean, that's fine. I always advise, like, it's good to get a business EIN. You know, it also shows the IRS that like you take your business serious. So, but you know, if you're a sole proprietor, it's not required. Any other business type, you are required to have one. Okay. Also, you need your business name and your mailing address or your physical address. Some people use, like, even in my case, like I used a mailbox service place so for my mailing address, so that's what goes on my tax returns for my business. Some people are, you know, have an actual storefront or whatever. Some people are operating from home, so that's the physical address. That's fine. Okay, your business structure. All right. That's like what I mentioned before about the EIN. Like, depending on your business structure, you are required to, in fact, have an EIN. Okay. And I actually talk more about this in greater detail, business structures and so many other things related to filing taxes as self-employed in my new masterclass, How to File Taxes as Self-Employed. And I will leave a link to that in the description box. With that masterclass, you'll also receive a bonus video called Business Tax Deductions Explained and a downloadable list of actual business tax deductions that you might qualify for, okay? And speaking of what you can write off, my course, you can write that off too when you file next year, okay? Let's see, Form 1098. That's for all of you homeowners or property owners, you're probably already familiar with this form. If you're a new property owner, now you know this, you should be getting this form, or you'll be able to download it wherever you log in to make your payments on your house. And that's going to show like property taxes paid, mortgage interest paid, and things like that. Okay. Now, other things that I have not mentioned here, it may just apply to your unique situation. So, guys, this checklist that I'm going over is just really, giving you like a scope of things. Okay. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. Please don't forget that life events that took place in 2020 will definitely have an impact on your filing. Like if you got married, had a baby, moved, things like that, worked more than one job, all kinds of situations, started a business, closed a business, all right? The important thing is to make sure that you can support everything you're putting on your tax returns, because the IRS is really modernizing their systems and they're planning to increase the number of examinations, which used to be known as audits, okay? And guys, they're closely watching people who file Schedule C. And I also did a video on that, which I'll leave a link in the description box, okay? And last thing before I go, if you're looking for a highly qualified and experienced tax strategist, feel free to send me an inquiry. My email will be in the description box. But I do get lots and lots of emails, and I also serve quite a large number of entrepreneurs and individuals across the U.S. So I am thanking you in advance for your patience in me responding to your email. I hope you found this informative. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And most importantly, please share this with a friend because they probably could really use this information. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.